Welcome back to A Potent Dose of 3. This is Kathy.
I'm Jasmine.
And I'm Linda, and we're back to bring you your weekly dose.
Wait, so before we get into the boring stuff, can I say a fun fact?
No.
Yes.
What is your fun fact of the day? Because
It better be
she
fun.
wants to do this so bad, and
I want it to be fun. Anyways, so did you know that the skin on your scalp ages faster than any other part of the skin on your body?
wait, that doesn't make sense.
No, what?
The skin on your scalp.
What about it?
It ages faster than any other
Oh.
skin on your
You missed-
body.
I honestly think you missed saying aging. I heard.
I had
the
gross.
skin on something on your head.
The skin on your scalp,
Uh-huh.
it ages. It gets old faster than any other part. You know what? You guys.
So the skin on your head ages faster.
Than any other part of the skin on your body.
That's weird.
So is that why your hair looked the way it does?
It is, you guys. I'm balding. I need collagen.
Yeah.
At least there's a solution for it.
That's true.
I didn't know how to tell you, but I'm
No,
glad
girl, I
that
know.
you
I know.
Because, you looking a little thin.
I shut up. I got my dad's jeans.
You really do.
Thanks, Dad.
Oh, imagine you being completely bald at the top at age 50. It's okay.
I mean, it happens.
You can
I'll
relate.
rock it if I have
I
to.
can hook you up. So
Okay, thank
we got
you.
I can hook you
See?
up.
You have some beautiful curls like Linda.
Mhm.
I love your hair, by the way.
Thank you.
See?
Thank you. Anyways, Kathy, you got some good stuff for us today?
Yes, I have some info for everybody on how I got here to my my nursing journey and how I got where I'm at and just every step that I took to get where I'm at right now.
Okay. Sounds good.
So just gonna become information.
That'll be good because it's really hard. There's just so many moving parts and
And honestly, I feel like, not to say this is boring because it's, it's good information to know, but listeners, we're going to get through the boring stuff first and then make it more, I guess our episodes more interactive.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
interesting and everything. So, but,
yeah, we're gonna get through the homework first.
Exactly.
Yes. So, as you guys know, I graduated as a Bachelor of Science in Physiology and Biology. So, after I graduated, I realized that I wanted to be a nurse, but I didn't know what steps I needed to take. So, I looked at my resume and they were like, you need to improve your resume because as an undergrad, I worked 3 jobs. So, I didn't really volunteer or do anything extracurricular-wise. So, I started to do some research. And I said, you know what? I'm going to become a medical assistant, which I did it through the university that I graduated from, which it was San Francisco State. So I got the medical assistant certification.
How long does that take?
So because I needed flexibility because of my job, I think it was an online, because it was a long time ago. So it was an online program and it was kind of on your own pace. So I think it took me a year.
Oh, okay, that's good that you could do it at your own pace.
Yeah, that's why I chose it too.
what program?
For the medical assistant to get my medical assistant certification.
Where did you go? Do you know?
San Francisco State.
Oh, so, girl,
Girl,
did
she
you
just
say
said that. Yeah, she said all
Yes.
Girl, I did not hear that.
Oh my god.
Coming at us.
My bad.
Thank you, Jasmine.
I'm hard of hearing.
Yes, you are.
So I went to the program. I pay $1,000, but then after you finish the program, you needed to do an externship. And then the people of the program, it was hard to communicate with them. So I'm like, well, this is taking a while, and I wanted to just start my career
Right.
now.
Mhm.
So I spoke with one of my really good friends, and she had friends that were nurses because I didn't have nursing friends. And then she told me, why don't you speak with my friend and ask him, because ask him what you should do just to get your feet wet and for your application or your curriculum to stand out when you apply for nursing school. So then I talked to him and I told him, should I do medical assistant? Should I become a CNA? And then he's like, honestly, Kathy, I feel like you should get your certification as a CNA, which is for you guys that don't know what a CNA stand for, is Certified Nursing Assistant. So he said just to become a CNA first, because sometimes he's an RN now, and he says that sometimes his colleagues, they don't even know how to change a bed.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was going to ask you, actually, if you could explain to listeners kind of what a CNA does or like the role, maybe.
Everything.
They do every damn thing in the hospital, honestly.
They do the heavy lifting.
Mm-hmm.
They clean the patients. They change the patients. They shower the patients if they have to be showered, or
Feed them.
or wash them in the like if they're bedbound, just to clean them when they're on bed. Feed them, brush their teeth, everything that has to do with like their daily activities.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So that's what CNAs do. So when he told me you should do a CNA, that way you get your feet wet and you get kind of like the hard part of nursing out of the way.
Right.
So I was like, okay. So I started looking into programs because, again, job was a priority because I had to pay bills. So I looked at a program that was a night school, and it's called Nightingale Healthcare Professional, LLC, which is located in Berkeley. Unfortunately, I was looking, because it was a long time ago, I was actually looking right now for prices and to see if they still had this PM program, and unfortunately they don't, which it kind of sucks because I remember in my night class, there were so many parents that it was so, like, easy, you know, it helped them a lot.
Yeah.
So,
and there's a lot of people that are probably like trying to make that transition and having to do that with family and all that. That must be difficult. So,
yeah. So when I went to this school, I paid $1,250, which it was like $250 for the application and $1,000 for the instruction fees and the training. There is additional costs like flu shot, CPR, scrubs, TB test, physical, and
like
this
fingerprint. Do you have to get fingerprinted?
the fingerprints, yes. And then I did have to take the state test to get my certification, and that's like $120. So through, as a CNA, you get like 160 hours training, 60 hours of theory, and 100 hours of clinical. And everything is in person in that school that I went to. I don't know about, right now it's still like that, but other schools I'm not sure about.
And next week's episode, I'm going to talk more about, like, because I did a CNA program, as you all know, as well. Mine was like a little different. So I'll talk more about like the steps that I took, because mine was like kind of like free in a way. So I'll like give more information about that. The only thing is it's not in NorCal. So.
Yeah. So when Linda moved back to the Bay Area, when we began talking about nursing, as I've told you guys before, and she gave me so much information that there are like different nursing programs. So there are like BSN programs.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Cut you off. Can I like add something before you start talking about the program? Because you did mention medical assistant, just in case like some people are like interested in becoming a medical assistant. So my sister actually completed her medical assistance program maybe like 3 months ago, and she did it through Futuro Health. And for her, it was like actually free. So it was free for her to do it. And it helps a lot of people who maybe can't afford like these like programs. So if you go in Futuro Health, all you have to do is like sign up through FAFSA. And so if you basically, you qualify for FAFSA, you basically get free medical assistant training. And for her, like that only took 8 to 12 months to do. In like the similar what you mentioned, she had to get like the vaccination, life scan, and everything. And so that's another
that's really
something
good.
for
And
students.
it's free. That's really good.
Free.
Like I wish I knew, but
and they also Futuro Health, they also have other things like phlebotomy and other type of programs that students can list. Not even students, like people in general can look into, because maybe they don't want to go like nursing or something, but it's just healthcare in general, or looking for a job. Like go in Futuro Health, get that stuff for free, and live your best life.
Yeah, especially with the way everything costs so much in California.
right now, yes, everything's so expensive.
And honestly, I feel like with everything, like the pay may not be great, because my sister was saying like it kind of sucks, but I feel like this is like common for like medical assistants, like
and
CNA,
it's a good start.
Yeah,
to
like
kind of
CNAs, we do
dip your
so
feet
much,
so
and
much.
it's like $15-16. What the hell?
So yeah, she said like for her, this one, it depends on the job company you're applying to. So like one company was offering her like $17 to $19 an hour, but if you apply to a big company like Kaiser, they may offer you $21 to $26 an hour. So you just gotta look around.
It also probably depends like on the hours of the day too, right? That they're working and all that, like night shift, day shift things.
Yeah, things fluctuate.
Company,
and then also if you like start, even if you do it like through apps where they just call like for you to fill in for people that like
registry.
Yep.
Then
Then you get paid
clutch.
even more.
It comes in clutch. But for those is because you get paid more, but it's because like they don't take out taxes. So that's another thing. Like,
so at the end of the year,
you owe. So the trick to that is like, save money, save, I don't know, about like 10% or something like that.
10 to 15% put aside, and then you don't have to like drop hella money at the end.
Yeah. But anyways, your program, the programs.
Sidetrack, but okay. So coming back to topic, I found out there are like different programs like BSN, ABSN, ELMSN, FNP, or ELMSN CM. So BSN is Bachelor of Science in Nursing, ABSN is Accelerated Bachelor of Science in Nursing, and ELMSN FNP is Entry-Level Master of Science in Nursing, Family Nurse Practitioner. And there is also Entry-Level Master of Science in Nursing, Care Manager. So for people that want to do like a Bachelor of Science in Nursing, it takes 2 years approximately. But if you want to do an Accelerated Bachelor of Science in Nursing, it takes 1 year. And then there is also the Master Entry Level for Nursing, just to get just the Masters for Nursing.
Tongue twister.
Yes.
I know. I was like, she's doing
like,
really
you're
good.
doing great.
I know. I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to.
Keep on going. I could never.
That takes 3 years. And the entry-level Master of Science as a family nurse practitioner, it takes 3.5 years. But if you want to do the entry-level Master of Science of Nursing as a care manager, it takes 2 years. A lot of schools in the North Bay have BSN and ABSN programs, but entry levels, like masters, they don't have, there's not a lot of schools. I was doing some research because they're not very, these programs are not very common. They're competitive and hard to find. So just so you guys
that's
know.
one thing that sucks about like entry level is like not a lot at all. So,
and then so you guys know, entry level or master of as a nurse, those are for people that have a degree that like they already have another degree before going into the school.
Yeah, that's not nursing related.
Oh, that's what I was going to ask you guys. Actually, like, did you need to have a science, degree? No. Okay.
So it's not nursing related. So that's why I was looking into those programs, because I already had a degree that is nursing, that is not nursing related.
Got it. Okay.
So I had to do the research.
Yeah.
So
honestly, is that the reason why? Like, why did you decide to do like instead of like BSN?
Yeah, but I wanted to be an FNP.
Okay.
So that's why. That's why I'm like, nope. I was like, I'm gonna work my ass off, and I need to get there. So I'm gonna try to find a program that does it. And then when you told me there were, so I was like, oh, there you go. That's my solution.
Look at God.
Yes. So there are some schools. I'm gonna give you guys the schools that have this program, so you guys could go into and look into them right now. So UCSF, USF, San Francisco State, UC Davis, Samuel Merritt University, University of the Pacific in Sacramento. All these schools have entry levels of nursing master programs for people that don't have like a nursing degree. Nice. And they also have BSN and ABSN programs, so you guys could like go and look at this schools. That way you guys don't waste a lot of time like I did trying to like do Google search.
And those are like the programs you mentioned is like basically the Northern California area.
Yes.
And for me, like I know like a few in like Southern California because I lived there for a while. So there's like two that I can think of on the top of my head is basically Charles Drew University. They have like an entry-level master's program, which is a very, very great program. And then Azusa Pacific, they got a university have an entry level. And I really like Azusa Pacific because they have many specialties. So you can go like for pediatrics, you can go for family nurse practitioner, you can go for psychology and a bunch of other stuff. And I know for me when I was applying to schools, like I didn't know much, but one way that made it easier for me is like I went on Nursing Cast. I think you're gonna mention.
I will mention Nursing Cast later.
Oh, okay, perfect. Mm-hmm. So for me, like Nursing Cast, what made it easier for me to kind of figure out, because honestly, it's hard to know what schools to apply to, and like if you do like a Google search, it's like it's so many schools, or you can't find any. So the cheap thing that I did, I went to Nursing Cast and just basically put entry level, and it'll like filter out just the entry level programs, and they have that for BSN. So if you don't know what school, just make your Nursing Cast account, and they'll have all the information for you. Mind you, sorry, they may not have every program Nursing Cast just have the programs that's like affiliated with the school. There's some school may not use Nursing Cast.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but it saves you a lot of time for research because I was doing research left and right.
Yeah,
and
it's draining. It's draining. So I was like, make your life a little easier. Just make your Nursing Cast account and go on.
Yeah. So then after I did that research and after I became a CNA, I got a job as a caregiver. Linda helped me get a job as a caregiver. And while working as a caregiver, I started to take the prerequisites for nursing schools. I can't tell you all the prerequisites because each school wants like their own prerequisites. And then if I do it, it's going to be so confusing and it's going to be here hours. So no.
Got to do your own work.
Yes.
Do some work.
So after I was done with my prerequisites, I began to look at the application process. And I began to look at how some schools require like a GPA of a 3.0. And they are just set. Like, even if they don't accept you, I remember one time I called and I was like, so what are your prerequisites? And then they told me, oh, your GPA has to be a 3.0. And I'm like, well, what about if it's like, can you guys look at my science GPA or like my last 60 units GPA? She's like, nope, it has to be a 3.0. Goodbye. That was
Is that like it? That's it? That's just the way it is?
Yeah. Some schools are just like set in stone.
Oh, it's just some schools.
Some schools.
Okay.
Yes.
Girl, because we didn't have 3.0.
No,
Okay.
girl.
Okay.
So that's why I was looking. I was calling.
And actually backtracking, you said that, I know because it works the same way for medical school, but I know that every school has like different classes and requirements, to enter or to get accepted, but is there like a general kind of like a list of the basics requirements maybe?
Yeah, so there's so it's microbiome, statistic is a big one. There is also communications, but the communication, it like differentiates. Like it could be like from like only adulthood or like from birth to adulthood.
And that matters? Like
that matters.
Oh, okay.
For communication?
Like sorry, that was psychology.
So psychology. That's like the lifespan or something.
Lifespan, yeah.
Is there like a website where people can go and look at like the basic requirements? Do you know?
It depends on the university. So when you go on a university's website, it'll say like prerequisites, and then you'll see like if you meet those requirements or not.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I guess I was just saying like basic classes to enter like nursing school, and then like beyond that you can add more depending on the school. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so the basic one is what like Kathy was explaining, like the chemistry, anatomy, physiology,
microbiology, statistics, English, just normal.
That should be already undergrad though.
Yeah,
in general. But that's not like the prereqs usually. Maybe it is. I don't know. Oh,
it is in some schools, yeah.
Like some schools. Because chemistry is for some schools and chemistry not for some other schools.
So basically, it's complicated.
Yes, and that's why I didn't went into details because I'm like, I'm gonna be naming like.
Honestly, that's one thing I hated about applying to schools is like, it's a nursing program. Why don't all schools adapt to the same requirements? It should be
a little more clear and like a little more.
Because like, for example, as an undergrad, I took like a communication class and I'm like, well, this won't work for that other nursing school that I applied to.
This one.
Like, nope, we want interpersonal.
No, yeah, that's how it was too when I applied for undergrad. Like when you were applying to different colleges, like one school wanted this physics, but the other school wanted, it was terrible.
Like, why make our lives complicated? Like, make it simple, make it doable. Like,
get your life together.
Exactly.
Yeah, come on, do better.
Bro.
So, some schools are really like set on their 3.0 GPA, but there's some other schools that only look at your science GPA. And then there's some other schools those are the ones that I liked because they look at the GPA of the last 60 units that you just that you just took. And that was great for me because I was just taking prerequisites and I was getting A's, which is, to like look good in my resume. So that's what I found out. And then I also found out that there's some schools that require like Hiii or TEAS, which is like exams that you need to take in the application, the entrance exam for the application process. So in my case, I had to register for the Hiii because I heard the Hiii is a little bit easier than the TEAS. So I was like, not gonna risk it.
And plus, at our time for our school, I think they were only requiring the Hiii at the time.
Yes, at the time.
Yeah, so that's made our life easier.
Yes. So in the Hiii, I signed up for that test through a website called Elsevier, and then you get everything Hiii related through that website. That's how I did it.
Yeah.
And in the Hiii, they test you like English, reading, grammar, and vocabulary, math, and science, anatomy, and physiology.
Yes. And what were you gonna say?
I was gonna ask how you guys prepared for the Hiii, like what resources you used and things like that.
Oh, that was stressful.
That was a struggle.
It was because Kathy and I I'm lazy. I'm not lazy, but I'm like a procrastinator. But we started applying during the pandemic, and at first they weren't like requiring the Hiii, and then so we were like, oh, let's we apply without taking it, and then we wanted to apply again, and then not realizing that we needed the Hiii, and so we literally only had less than a month. To get ready so we can make the application period.
Wow.
Like, it sucked.
Yes. And then we had to look into we went YouTube dive, everything, had to study for this test.
It was,
Because for me, when I have done a standardized test, I don't study. I just go with whatever knowledge I have in my brain.
She's got confidence.
And then,
Yeah, for real, because I would never.
Me either. Never, ever.
For the SAT, I remember my dad, he bought me the book and all that.
And you didn't use it, huh?
No, I just flipped through it. I even fell asleep on my SAT. They had to wake me up, and I did well. But that's not the point. The point is that I wasn't used to studying for this test, and now I'm like, oh shit, I really have to study because it depends. My career depends on this. So I remember me and Linda starting to look through YouTube videos how to study for the Hiii, what we need to look for, and we found some little tricks,
tips and tricks.
Yeah, and then that actually helped us.
Yeah. So if you want those tips and tricks, DM us on Instagram at a potent dose of 3, and add us too. But we have. Girl, we know we got the answers. We found the whole Quizlet that has all the information on the Hiii. So if you want it, you better hit us up and do a follow.
Yep. But then we also use the Hiii book. I feel like we met every day.
We did.
We met every day at a coffee shop.
A week to study. 2 weeks.
Oh my gosh.
It was 2 weeks.
We had to grind. But we passed.
Oh,
yeah.
Good.
I did have to retake. Because you have to meet a certain score.
Oh, yeah, it has to be an 80 and above.
Yes. So our asses, or my ass, thought so my weakest points is math. I don't know. I have I have to use my fingers to count. That's how bad I am at math. So I focus more on math, anatomy, and physio. Because I'm that's going to be the hardest.
Or you call me.
Exactly. For real. So I didn't study grammar, and that was my lowest area. So that's why I had to retake retake the grammar section.
That section.
So guys, study grammar.
You're allowed to retake sections?
Yes.
So that's another good thing.
So that was a good thing with this school. Not every school does this, but the school that we were applying to, they take the best score of that section. Let's say if you take math twice, and the first time you took math, you got a 90, and the second time you got an 80. Would they take the 90?
But question, so for your situation, you didn't do as good in the grammar or in the English, right? So you retook the whole test again, or you just retook that section?
I paid for the whole test, but I just retook this section. Because you can take the whole thing if you want to get more, to see if you can do better.
Wow.
But I was happy with all my other scores. I was so I just chose just to do grammar.
That's nice.
Yeah, same. I had to do grammar too because, again, English is not my first language. So
you got a good excuse.
Girl, English is her first language. And,
No, it's funny because Kathy,
hard.
she actually scored higher than me on the grammar.
Okay,
which makes
I would
sense.
have not said that.
No. But it makes sense. So she actually learned the grammar, because she had to learn English and everything.
I'm joking with you. It's really hard.
Let's not go in the parking lot and fight because.
But it's because how Linda was saying that she focused on her weak spots. So my weak spot was grammar. So I focus on that.
Oh yeah.
So that's why I did
it was the opposite for you. So what was your lowest on your Did you have to retake anything?
Just the grammar.
So you just did grammar. Okay.
Yes.
That's good then.
So we did grammar, and then we took it again, but we passed. And then also after I took the test, they required the Hiii, 3 letters of recommendation, sometimes 2 letters of recommendation, depending on the school again. They required a resume and then personal statement. So, but it depends on the school. They ask different questions and you have to answer them. And I think that was the hardest part through the whole process was the personal statement. Because again, English is not my first language. So, and then I also have I don't like asking people for help because in the past when they don't come through. So I'm kind of like, no, I'll do it on my own. Like I'll get it together. But for writing, I need to get people to like read my paper, give me feedback, where I messed up, and all these things.
But you know what? That's very normal. Like even for me, I asked multiple people. I read my paper to multiple people. You need different minds and eyes on your writing, because sometimes you get like tunnel vision.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I think for the whole like application process, that was like the hardest part for me, which it was my personal statement. But yeah, the thing that I got out of it is just don't be afraid to ask for help. Just ask for help. Tell your friends or tell people that you know.
Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend.
Yes, yes, because that will like change your personal statement from like a 5 to a 10.
Exactly. And
quickly.
For me, one thing that I did, make those connections, guys. So for me, like I had an undergrad professor that I really love. Like she's amazing. She was an English professor. So what I did, I wrote my personal statement and emailed her and saying like, hey, can you please read over my personal statement, give me feedback? So that's what she did for me. Like
that's really good.
Yeah.
I never thought to do that.
That was good.
She did it for free. I sent her gifts, of course, afterwards as a thank you. But I literally I utilized her because I was like, she's good at English. She writes. She does blogs and stuff. So I was like, so that's what I did.
Okay.
So use y'all people. Use someone. Find someone.
Make connections. So then after I finished that, then I had to go to the application process. But I thought that the application process was going to be through the school. But no, like Linda said, there's some schools that use Nursing Cast. And it gets a little bit tricky if you don't know how, like if you don't navigate it before. If you try to turn in your application the day before, hell no, don't do it.
Like, did you do that?
No.
Okay.
I was like, dang, this girl don't study for her exams and she
does. No, because I feel like I remember something like you were trying to hurry up and beat the deadline. Like you try to turn it in the day of, and I was like, Kathy, girl, you supposed to turn that shit in like 3 days ago, just in case.
Well, it was for the personal statement.
It was something. I remember.
It was a personal statement.
I'm trying to lie to our listeners. You did something like that where you try to turn it in a day
but not the whole thing, just a personal statement.
Well, you can't submit your dang application without the personal statement.
No, but the whole thing is the website. It's a lot because you have to. So you have two options. Either you pay for them to like input your whole unofficial transcript.
That's right.
Or you put it yourself like one by one.
Right.
I was cheap, okay? I was
no,
already
girl,
spending
I don't blame
money.
you. I don't blame you.
So I print out my unofficial transcript and I did one by one. So that took time.
No, it takes a lot of time.
Because you have to put like your personal info, your address, your phone number, your unofficial transcript, or like the grades. So that's what they use. So they use Nursing Cast. So just navigate through that website before the due date because you do not want to. Because it's also in like a different time
zone. Yes, that's okay. Yeah.
Oh,
so don't mess up
time zone.
Do not
I think
be a Kathy. I'm just kidding.
Seriously, don't be me. I just get lucky. But I think it was Central Time.
Maybe.
Yeah, I know it was like a 3-hour difference. So. Yeah, so that was it. That's how I got into the school, and that was my whole process. I wanted to share with you guys. I wanted to give you some, not tricks, but just information, and then just so you guys could go through like the right way, and then just don't waste time like I did trying to like
or struggle
Google and see what schools have there and what schools don't.
Yeah.
So
thanks, Kathy. I really learned a lot. I really did.
So if you learned a lot, can you give me a little recap of what you learned, Miss? I don't want to be a nurse, but I want to be a doctor. So, doctor, let me know.
Wow, I really feel called out. But no, I really did learn a lot. So I learned that if you didn't get your undergrad in like a nursing degree, you could transition over to nursing by doing like the entry level programs. And then a way that is an efficient way to like look up these programs would be through Nursing Cast, and it will help save you time. You know, that way you don't have, like, it's all there. All the info is there. And obviously, I'm sure not every school is there, but
it's a great start. Yeah. Okay, you learned a lot.
That's right, baby.
Nice.
Yeah,
okay.
We can be some teachers. Give
Yes.
some education.
I learned some stuff.
Dropping some knowledge. Good.
Yep. So, guys, thank you so much for listening to A Potent Dose of 3. We're closing out. Please follow us at
A Potent Dose of 3. And Instagram.
Girl. Can
I do it?
Yeah,
thank you. Anyways, Thank you for listening to the podcast. You can reach out if you have any questions, concerns, anything at apotentdoseof3@gmail.com, or you can reach us on our IG at apotentdoseof3.
And also follow your girl Linda on IG at Linda the FNP.
Adios.
Adios.